foul a lot and sent him to the line. What do you see as what went wrong in the last 5 minutes in this game? And we've seen it before at Kansas. We saw it against Florida. Why does this creep up to you with you guys too often?
I just think it's in the game execution.
Thanks,
we have to do a better job of doing. It was a 1-point game, and I think we fouled a 3-point shooter, and then on the foul line we gave up an offensive rebound, which led to a 3. And it's just like the little things that are kind of just making other teams extend their lead, because we have it right where we want it, and we had the game right in our possession where we was able to win the game. But it's really our end of game execution has been, throughout the year, like you said, Kansas, Florida, and we just got to kind of stop, putting ourselves in those positions, because it's kind of like we're shooting ourselves in the foot.
You guys did do it against UCLA.
Yeah,
so where does it start? What do you learn from the close in that game that you can apply moving forward that you didn't have today?
It's just going to have to be, I think, just doing a better job of attention to detail throughout the whole game. I think sometimes we can lack concentration on those ends, and just our focus, miscommunications on different screening actions, not having a low guy, mixed box out. So those things that have been killing us all year kept killing us tonight.
That stood out to me, RJ, what you're talking about, the getting crossed up, miscommunications, being confused. Like, what is the deal with that? What's going on there?
I think it's just, I'm still trying to figure it out as well, because we've shown glimpses of it when we do communicate. It leads to great things. I think it's not consistent, and it's not consistent on a consistent basis, and especially when it's crunch time. And I think that's just, I put it on myself to do a better job of kind of just leading the guys in that instance, in terms of kind of just being the vocal point, just, telling them when to talk, telling them when to be the low guy, like, because these are, they haven't been in situations like this throughout their careers. There's a lot of different players we've had this year in terms of different conferences and some freshmen, so I got to do a better job of kind of just communicating and being a leader on the floor, but at the same time it has to be a collective group in terms of communicating.
How different is the game without Seth, and do you expect him back anytime soon?
Having Seth away was a huge miss for us. He contributes so much to this team, offensively and defensively, and he's a focal point for this team. So missing him was huge for us, especially to open up ACC conference play. So we definitely miss Seth out there. He does a lot of the little things that we all need. He plays the 1 through 4, so a lot of his energy and effort plays were needed. But that doesn't excuse us for the way we should have closed out the game today.
Do you expect him back soon?
Oh, hopefully, yeah. God willing, yeah. So just want to make sure he's healthy and he's ready to go. So whenever that is.
I think the majority of your points came about the last 4.5 minutes of the first half. What were they doing to keep you from being effective? It looked like you were probably stressed a lot of the time when you got the ball.
I think they just did a good job of kind of just, obviously I was the focal point for their emphasis of their defense. So a lot of the ball screen actions, what they did was either like a hard hedge or like a double team. So what the coaches were telling me was, since they're hard hedging and double teaming, get the ball out of my hands, whether it's for the show roll or the guy behind. And even if I did have a switch out on a defender that I knew I could go by, I had all 10 eyeballs on me, so we had guys in the gap, guys in the midline, and everyone was kind of just, right there. So it was kind of just hard for me to kind of just find a rhythm, because they just kind of did a good job of being on tough on the ball screens. And then when I did have the ball, like in a one-on-one situation, isolation, they were just a big help.
How frustrating is that? And second part of the question, how much does it wear on you when you have to fight so hard just to get decent looks?
I know it's a little bit frustrating, but I kind of just try to stay within the game, try not let it affect everything else of my game. So like defensively, I got a couple of good steals and good box outs, so kind of just not letting that affect my game when I know they're trying to take away my offense. But it does a little bit wear and tear, because I'm working a lot harder to get the ball, to catch the ball, and I do have the ball. So I knew that coming into this year just because of the year I had last year, and I knew coming into this year, so it was kind of just more of a mental standpoint, just staying in the game and not being affected.
It did.
8-6. How do you get this thing turned around, get it going the way it needs to go?
Yeah, staying positive, one game at a time. ACC is really hard. It's only one night, so you just gotta keep chipping away game by game, possession by possession. That's the only way you have to look at the rest of the year.
The way they did swarm, I felt like they sort of, like you're talking about, swarm the ball screen when you had the ball. Did that remind you of the way anyone else has defended you, any other teams?
I think it's been a lot of teams have thrown a lot of different coverages. Whether that's they've thrown their 6'7" guy on me or had 2 on the ball. I think it's been a combination of that like all year. Just different teams playing different coverages. So I think I have to do a better job of kind of just getting the ball out of my hand and just take what defense gives me. And I feel like I did that a little bit better of a job of that in the second half. I feel like the first half I was holding the ball a little bit too long. So I was looking for short rolls and getting the ball out of my hands, looking for uplift for the shake action. But I think Louisville did a good job of kind of just keying on their defense.
Are you surprised that it just hasn't clicked for this team yet?
I'm not. I wouldn't say surprised. It's just more about because like we're right there, right, and we've had instances where we put a stretch of great possessions together.
Sure.
Right, and I think it's just a lack of kind of just concentration and focus with us when it comes down to crunch time, when it comes down to execution. Just the little details that we've been emphasizing. So I'm not surprised about that at all. I think it's more about just losing focus. I think we have to keen on that, especially in the execution when it gets down to the wire things.
Last question, please. I think I was talking to Elliot about the other day after the Campbell game. He was saying that you were really the staff that showed you guys a lot of the film of some of those games that did get away late. And you guys kind of spent like extensive time talking about those games specifically. I guess with today, was there anything that you had seen from some of those other games that kind of could have been there? You obviously talked about the need to finish strong, but I guess kind of as the game was going, did you kind of feel that something similar situations were kind of occurring there?
I feel like in the first half we did a good job of kind of boxing out. We knew they were known for the offensive rebounding team, so we did a good job in the first half of doing that. But I think second half we kind of let that slip away a little bit. Some crucial plays for myself and kind of taking not a needed mid-range transition that led to a transition 3. We fouled a 3-point shooter. We almost had like 2 minutes left to go, then we gave up an offensive rebound that led to another 3. So those kind of slippage of plays that we watched on the film kind of happen again. It's kind of the same recipe that we have to kind of just eliminate at this point.
Those lobs.